What's up guys, it's Oblivious Gamer here, and today I just wanted to talk a bit about Gundam Evolution and some of my thoughts on the current state of the game. Which if you have been following the game, well, it isn't going that well. Ever since the launch, the game has been losing players left and right. When the game launched, according to Steam charts, it peaked at 55,000 players. However, after a month of release in October, the peak player count was at 19,000, and currently the last 30 days the peak was like 4,000 players. And if you check Steam charts, it tends to average being 1,600 players to 700 players in 24 hours, and like if you check constantly. And for a 6v6 game, that is a bit rough, especially as you're trying to find matches. Casually, you still find matches. Quickly, relatively depends, but rank though, it gets a bit tougher to find matches, especially the higher you rank up. Now, with this going on, this doesn't mean the game is not fun, that it sucks, or that it's unplayable. Personally, I enjoy playing this game a lot, and to be honest, I feel it does play relatively well. However, it just seems it hasn't been a hit here, at least in the West. Which is a sad thing, because a lot of times Bandai doesn't want to bring Gundam games to the West, and their main reason is because Bandai believes the game won't do well here. If you take your time, at least by paper, Gundam Evolution has a lot of points that should make the game somewhat popular, or, have a decent player base. First, it's using established IP. Sure, one can argue Gundam is not as popular as it was years ago in the West, but I frankly believe it is still very well known. Having an established IP means people know what to expect. Then, this game is free to play. It's very accessible for everyone because you don't have to put $50, $30, $60 at the start to play. You can just download it and play. Though you do have to put money to get some of the suits, which that's another problem to talk about. I mean, personally, I feel, yes, this game is not gonna have the same amount of players as Overwatch, but I do think it should have a bit more than 600 to 1,400 players a day. I mean, as I mentioned, the game plays well, the suits and their abilities are fine, and it can be extremely enjoyable. But people are just not playing, and those who played it are not coming back. I have seen people are not happy, for example, with the maps. They feel the maps are very boring and uninteresting, which is understandable. I have a decent amount of hours, and to be honest, I don't know any of the maps by name or necessarily how they look like currently. If you ask me, hey, how does this, I would be like, I don't know. So at least for me, there really isn't a map that stands out, and it's like, yeah, that map is amazing, I just want to constantly play on that map. So right now, maps, I feel that's a big thing. You also have people complaining about the balance, which that happens in a lot of games, but I just feel there's a lot of talks here. Some people, for example, still don't like how Barbatos feel. Personally, I don't have much of a problem against Barbatos, but I have seen the complaint a lot here and there. There's, of course, other suits. Then the fact that the game, after months, still has problems like crashes, which I, from time to time, suffer them. And I do have a decent rig. Coupled with the fact that your game can crash, you also have the lever penalty, which is supposed to deter people from, quitting in the game. But instead, because your game crashes, you try to come back and you have to wait a certain amount of time to play again. And that sucks. I've had it a few times, and it just sucks when my game crashes and I want to come back and play the game and I can't. You also have how the game is not a available in many regions. I think, for example, Australia, like it's coming next year, like 2023. Then you have the fact that there's no way to earn capital currency. So currently, there's two ways to earn capital, which is the main currency or the free currency of the game. One way is by doing the beginner's challenge, which after you complete it, that's it. It leaves you with enough money to buy one suit, but there's no other challenges to do. The other way is by buying the season pass. But once you're done with the challenges, that's it. Like, the other way to earn is by the season pass. Yeah, you get another suit, but there's 3 suits in the game that you have to buy, so you get 2 suits for free, I guess. I feel this is not good because they need to add a way to reward players at least some capital per game. And at the same time, even if you bought the season pass and you're earning capital, you have to be a little bit stingy because you're like, well, I might not be able to buy the next suit for the next season. Which, for example, my situation, I saved up for the season 2 suit to just use capital because I don't want to pay with money. By the end of the month, they're adding a new suit, which is New Gundam. Personally, I only buy Unicorn, and I will be using my capital to just buy New Gundam, plus having to buy the next season pass. I feel they need to add ways for players to have a chance to buy a suit and also believe that, at the same time they can get skins and all the other customization goodies and don't have to be stingy about it. At the same time, it sucks that, like, as a player, you're like, well, I finished the challenges, I finished the season pass, so do I get any rewards from playing the game? No, the only reward you get is satisfaction from playing the game, which, how much people play a game, that's up to you, but I don't necessarily feel that, like, if there's no reward, do you really want to keep playing the game constantly? Especially a game like this. I feel they need to add some way to reward you. Personally, I just feel this is a fun game that can truly be enjoyed by a lot of people. However, right now, the game is going through a lot of problems. I am wondering if Season 2 will actually be enough to bring people back. Yes, we get one new map and one new suit, but it doesn't seem they are addressing much of the problems I have mentioned. Also, some of the players were frustrated because they were expecting more than one suit this season, and well, so far it seems we're only getting one suit. Which, yes, I have seen people say, well, in these types of games, every season you only get one character. But I feel with the way the player base is, Bandai really needs to step it up to entice players to come back or entice new players to try the game. At the same time, they also need to do a better job of advertising their esports, because I know the community, for example, they're doing a lot of tournaments, and kudos for them to push the game and try their best to get people to play the game and enjoy some tournaments. But I think just recently they started like promoting some of the community tournaments that's being run. And also I think they're running a new tournament where you can earn money. So it's a good start, but I also feel they need to work better with the current community that's also running tournaments to promote the game, because as much as the community is doing their best, they can't do everything by themselves. They need help from, the Gundam Evolution team. So yeah, it's tough. I don't know if Season 2 will be enough to bring people back. Hopefully it is. I don't want to see this game die. I really would like to see this game have a comeback and get more than 1,000 players a day, and hopefully it does. I mean, who knows? Maybe in the long run this game will start picking up. You never know. But right now it's not in a good place. As always though, it's not just about me. What are your thoughts, guys, on the current situation with Gundam Evolution? Feel free to leave your thoughts down below. This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.